And there have been some tragic consequences because of these protests and the looting and the violence afterwards. We know that an African-American Homeland Security police officer lost his life in Oakland.
A black American law enforcement officer in Oakland was murdered by one of these rioters.
You have a Homeland Security police officer in Oakland who was shot and killed because of these riots. And
frankly, the tragedy that happened with Pat Underwood, the police officer in Oakland who was killed by rioters.
And targets of some who are rioting.
As of late, we have witnessed an outright assault on our law enforcement community.
A federal protective service officer will be laid to rest after suffering a gunshot wound Friday in Oakland.
And 53-year-old Homeland Security officer Dave Patrick Underwood was shot and killed in Oakland.
On Twitter, former White House speechwriter Darren Beattie, and good for him, has been keeping track of the casualties of this rioting, and we want to read some of them to you because it's important to remember people who've been killed. More than just one, many. David Patrick Underwood was a federal protective service officer in California. A week ago, he was shot to death. We don't know who killed him.
100 Secret Service agents also injured during last week's riots as well. We had a federal protective service officer in Oakland, California, part of the DHS family, shot and murdered there as he oversaw a protest. So
her brother was murdered while defending a courthouse in the riots in Oakland less than 2 weeks ago. You did not hear the Democrats talk about that.
Is where the outrage is for the black police officer, David Underwood, in Oakland that was killed amidst the riots defending a federal building. Yesterday I was talking about David Underwood, the Oakland Protective Service police officer shot. Where's the outrage over that?
These looters, these arsonists, these thugs, they're stealing from Americans. They're destroying their livelihoods. In many cases, they're committing acts of violence, literally running cars over police officers, shooting a federal police officer, killing a federal police officer in Oakland and California.
The Department of Homeland Security lost the first person to an assassination of law enforcement over in Oakland, Jesse Underwood, one of our protecting a courthouse out there. PSO Underwood was shot. He was assassinated protecting a courthouse during a protest.